The Galactic Council was in big trouble. Their fancy meeting room, usually full of calm talk and smart plans, was now noisy and scared. Aliens from all over space sat around a huge round table. They looked worried. At the head of the table sat Chief Zorblax, the leader of the council. His purple skin was darker than usual, a sign of his stress. He raised all four of his hands to quiet the room. "Friends," Zorblax said in a deep voice, "we face a big problem. The Vex are attacking again." The room got very quiet. Everyone knew about the Vex. They were mean aliens who wanted to rule all of space. They had big, scary ships and weapons that could blow up planets. Zorblax touched a button, and a big screen appeared in the air. It showed a map of the galaxy. Red dots were all over it, showing where the Vex had attacked. "As you can see," Zorblax said, pointing at the map, "the Vex are getting closer to our homeworlds. We've lost many battles. Our armies are tired. We need help." An alien with 8 eyes stood up. This was General Klixer, the leader of the Council's army. "Chief Zorblax is right," he said. "Our soldiers fight hard, but the Vex are too strong. We've lost too many good fighters." The room started to get noisy again. Everyone was scared. They had been fighting the Vex for many years, but things were getting worse. Suddenly, a small green alien jumped on the table. This was Pip, from a planet of very smart aliens. "Wait," he shouted. "I have an idea." Everyone looked at Pip. He was jumping up and down with excitement. "There's a new species we haven't asked for help yet," Pip said. "They're called humans. They live on a planet called Earth." The room got quiet again. Then everyone started talking at once. "Humans?" asked a big rocky alien. "Never heard of them." "Are they strong?" asked another alien. "Can they fight?" asked a third. Pip held up his hands. "Let me explain," he said. "Humans are new to space travel. They just figured out how to leave their planet. But they're very interesting." Pip touched another button, and the screen changed. Now it showed pictures of Earth and humans. "Humans look weak," said General Klixer. "They're so small and soft." "That's true," said Pip. "But they're very smart and creative. They solve problems in ways we've never thought of." Chief Zorblax looked interested. "Tell us more, Pip," he said. Pip smiled. "Humans are always inventing new things. They're curious about everything. And they never give up, even when things look bad." The other aliens started to look more interested. "But the best thing about humans," Pip said, "is that they work well with others. They like to make friends and help people." Chief Zorblax thought for a moment. Then he said, "Maybe these humans can help us. But how do we ask them? They don't know about the Galactic Council yet." Pip had an answer ready. "We can send a ship to Earth," he said. "We can talk to their leaders and explain our problem." The room was quiet as everyone thought about this idea. Finally, Chief Zorblax spoke. "It's risky," he said, "but we need help. Let's do it." He looked around the room. "Who wants to go to Earth and talk to the humans?" No one spoke. Going to a new planet was scary. What if the humans were dangerous? Then a voice spoke up. "I'll go," it said. Everyone turned to look. It was Ambassador Lyra. She was known for being brave and good at talking to new species. "I'll go to Earth," Lyra said. "I'll tell the humans about our problem and ask for their help." Chief Zorblax smiled. "Thank you, Lyra," he said. "This mission is very important. The future of the galaxy depends on it." Lyra nodded. She knew it was a big job, but she was ready. "Prepare a ship," Chief Zorblax said to General Klixer. "Ambassador Lyra will leave for Earth as soon as possible." As the meeting ended, everyone felt a little better. Maybe these humans could help them beat the Vex. Lyra went to get ready for her trip. She was excited but also nervous. What would the humans be like? Would they want to help? As she packed her bags, Lyra looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, and the humans who might save them all. The next day, Lyra's ship was ready. It was small and fast, painted in the bright colors of the Galactic Council. Inside were maps of Earth and information about humans. As Lyra got ready to leave, Chief Zorblax came to say goodbye. "Good luck, Lyra," he said. "Remember, we're all counting on you." Lyra nodded. "I won't let you down," she said. She got into her ship and started the engines. As she flew away from the Galactic Council's space station, Lyra felt excited. She was going to meet humans. The trip to Earth would take many days. Lyra spent the time learning about humans. She watched their movies and TV shows. She listened to their music. She read their books. The more Lyra learned about humans, the more she liked them. They were funny and brave and kind. She hoped they would want to help. Finally, after a long trip, Lyra saw Earth. It was beautiful, with blue oceans and green lands and white clouds. Lyra felt nervous but excited as her ship got closer. "I hope the humans will listen," she thought. "We need their help to save the galaxy." As her ship entered Earth's atmosphere, Lyra took a deep breath. The most important mission of her life was about to begin. Humans jump in. Lyra's spaceship landed softly in a big field. It was night on Earth, and the stars twinkled above. Lyra felt nervous but excited. She was the first alien to visit Earth officially. As she stepped out of her ship, Lyra saw a group of humans waiting. They looked surprised and a little scared. Lyra smiled and held up her hands to show she was friendly. "Hello," she said, using the translator on her belt. "I come in peace." The humans looked at each other. Then one stepped forward. He was tall with gray hair and a kind face. "Welcome to Earth," he said. "I'm President Johnson." Lyra bowed slightly. "I'm Ambassador Lyra from the Galactic Council," she said. "We need your help." Over the next few days, Lyra met with Earth's leaders. She told them about the Galactic Council and the war with the Vex. The humans were shocked to learn about alien life and the big space war. "This is a lot to take in," said President Johnson. "Why do you think we can help?" Lyra smiled. "Humans are special," she said. "You're creative and brave. We think you might see things differently than us." The human leaders talked for a long time. Finally, they agreed to help. They would send their best scientists, soldiers, and thinkers to join the Galactic Council. A month later, the first human ship arrived at the Galactic Council's main space station. It was big and boxy, not sleek like alien ships. The other aliens watched curiously as the humans came out. Chief Zorblax greeted the humans. "Welcome," he said. "We're glad you're here." The human leader, Captain Maria Chen, stepped forward. She looked around with wide eyes. "This is amazing," she said. "We're ready to help however we can." At first, things were a bit awkward. The humans were so different from the other aliens. They ate strange food, laughed loudly, and asked lots of questions. Some aliens thought the humans were too noisy and messy. But soon, the humans started to show why they were special. In a big meeting about battle plans, a young human named Alex had an idea. "What if we use the asteroids as hiding places?" Alex said. "We could surprise the Vex ships." The alien generals looked confused. "Asteroids are too small," one said. "Our ships won't fit." Alex grinned. "We don't need to hide whole ships," he said. "Just small fighter ships. They can zoom out and attack, then hide again." The aliens were surprised. They had never thought of using asteroids like that. They decided to try Alex's plan. In the next battle, the human idea worked great. The small fighter ships hid in the asteroids and surprised the Vex. It was the first big win for the Galactic Council in a long time. After that, the aliens started to respect the humans more. They realized humans had many good ideas. One day, a human engineer named Priya was looking at the alien spaceships. She noticed something about their engines. "Hey," she said to an alien mechanic, "have you ever tried mixing these two fuels? It might make the ships go faster." The alien looked surprised. Mix the fuels. We never thought of that. They tried Praya's idea, and it worked. The spaceships could now go much faster than before. This helped them escape from Vex attacks more easily. The humans kept coming up with new ideas. They suggested new ways to talk between ships that the Vex couldn't understand. They invented new weapons that worked well against Vex shields. But the humans didn't just help with fighting. They also brought something else the Galactic Council needed: hope. Humans told jokes and sang songs. They made friends with aliens from all different planets. They never seemed to give up, even when things looked bad. "You humans are so optimistic," said an alien named Blorp one day. "How do you stay happy even in a war?" Captain Chen smiled. "It's not about being happy all the time," she said. "It's about believing we can make things better. We keep trying, no matter what." This attitude spread to the other aliens. They started to believe they could win the war. They worked harder and didn't give up so easily. The Vex noticed the change. They couldn't understand why the Galactic Council was suddenly fighting better. They didn't know about the humans yet. One day, there was a big space battle. It was the biggest fight since the humans had joined. Everyone was nervous. The human ships flew with the alien ships. They used all their new ideas and inventions. The battle was long and hard. But in the end, the Galactic Council won. It was their biggest victory ever against the Vex. After the battle, there was a big party on the space station. Aliens and humans celebrated together. They danced and sang and ate food from all different planets. Chief Zorblax made a speech. "Today, we won because we worked together," he said. "The humans have brought us new ideas and new hope. With them as our friends, I believe we can win this war." Everyone cheered. The humans felt proud. They had helped change the tide of the war. As the party went on, Captain Chen looked out a window at the stars. She thought about Earth, so far away. She knew there would be more hard battles ahead. The war wasn't over yet. But for the first time, it felt like they had a real chance to win. Humans had jumped into the Galactic War, and nothing would ever be the same again. The big surprise. The Galactic Council was feeling good. With the humans helping, they had won some big fights against the Vex. But everyone knew the war wasn't over yet. One day, Chief Zorblax called a big meeting. All the important aliens and humans came. They sat around a huge table in the main room of the space station. "We have a problem," Chief Zorblax said. His purple face looked worried. "The Vex are planning something big. Our spies say they're building a new weapon." The room got very quiet. Everyone looked scared. "What kind of weapon?" asked Captain Chen, the human leader. General Klixor, the alien with 8 eyes, stood up. "We don't know exactly," he said, "but it's supposed to be very powerful. It could destroy whole planets." Everyone started talking at once. They were very worried. "Quiet, please," Chief Zorblax said. "We need to stop this weapon before the Vex can use it, but we don't know where they're building it." Alex, the young human who had the idea about hiding in asteroids, raised his hand. "Can't we use our spy ships to find it?" he asked. General Klixor shook his head. "We've tried," he said, "but the Vex are being very careful. They catch our spy ships before they can get close." The room was quiet again. No one knew what to do. Then, a small green alien named Pip jumped up. "I have an idea," he said, "but it's kind of crazy." "We like crazy ideas," said Captain Chen with a smile. "What is it, Pip?" Pip looked nervous but excited. "What if we don't use ships at all?" he said. "What if we send in spies? But really, really small ones." Everyone looked confused. "What do you mean small?" asked Chief Zorblax. Pip grinned. "I mean really small," he said. "Tiny robots. So small the Vex won't see them." The room was quiet for a moment. Then everyone started talking at once again. "Tiny robots," said General Klixor. "That's impossible." But the humans looked excited. "Actually," said Priya, the human engineer. We might be able to do that. We have something called nanotechnology. On Earth, it's about making very tiny machines. Chief Zorblax looked interested. How tiny? He asked. So tiny you can't see them without a special microscope, Priya said. The aliens were amazed. They had never thought of making robots that small. But how would tiny robots help us? Asked an alien with tentacles. Alex jumped in. They could go anywhere, he said excitedly. They could sneak into Vex ships or bases. They could look for the new weapon without anyone seeing them. The aliens started to look excited too. This could work. Okay, said Chief Zorblax. Priya, can you make these tiny robots? Priya nodded. With help from our alien friends we can, she said. But it will take time. You have 1 week, said Chief Zorblax. That's all the time we can spare. For the next week, Priya and a team of humans and aliens worked day and night. They mixed human nanotechnology with alien materials and computers. It was hard work, but finally, they did it. On the last day, Priya brought a small box to Chief Zorblax. It's done, she said. She opened the box, but it looked empty. Where are the robots? Asked Chief Zorblax, looking confused. Priya smiled. They're in there, she said. Millions of them, but they're too small to see. Everyone was amazed. These tiny robots could change everything. Now they had to use the robots to find the Vex's secret weapon. But how? Captain Chen had an idea. We need to get these robots onto a Vex ship, she said. Then they can spread out and search. It was a good plan, but very dangerous. Who would take the robots to a Vex ship? I'll go, said Alex. He looked scared but determined. I'm small and quick. I can sneak onto a Vex ship. Captain Chen looked worried, but she nodded. Okay, she said, but be careful. The next day, Alex left in a small, fast ship. He flew towards Vex space, carrying the box of tiny robots. Everyone on the space station waited nervously. Hours passed, then days. There was no word from Alex. Maybe we should send someone to look for him, said Captain Chen. She was very worried about Alex. But just then, they got a message. It was from Alex. I did it, his voice said over the radio. I got the robots onto a Vex ship. They're searching now. Everyone cheered. Alex had done it. A few hours later, Alex's ship returned. He looked tired but happy. The robots found something, he said. They sent back pictures and information. Priya looked at the data from the robots. Her eyes got big. Oh no, she said. The weapon is worse than we thought. It's not just a planet destroyer. It's a star killer. Everyone gasped. A weapon that could destroy stars would be the worst thing ever. We have to stop it, said Chief Zorblax. But how? The Vex base where they're building it is too strong to attack. The room was quiet. This seemed like an impossible problem. Then, Alex smiled. He had that look that meant he had another crazy idea. What if we don't attack the base? He said, what if we attack the weapon itself? From the inside. Everyone looked confused. What do you mean? Asked General Klixer. Alex's smile got bigger. We already have millions of tiny robots inside the Vex base, he said. What if we use them to break the weapon before the Vex can use it? The room was quiet for a moment. Then, slowly, people started to smile. That's brilliant, said Chief Zorblax. Priya, can the robots do that? Priya thought for a moment, then nodded. Yes, she said. We can program them to break the weapon. The Vex won't know what's happening until it's too late. It was a crazy plan, but it might just work. As they started planning, everyone felt excited. This could be the big surprise that would change the war. And it was all thanks to humans and aliens working together, coming up with ideas no one had thought of before. The Vex wouldn't know what hit them. Humans changed the game. The plan to use tiny robots against the Vex's star-killing weapon was working. But the Galactic Council knew they needed to do more to win the war. They needed to change how they fought. Captain Chen called a meeting with both human and alien fighters. "We need new ideas," she said. "The Vex are strong, but we can be smarter." Alex, the young human who loved crazy ideas, spoke up. "What if we fight like water?" he said. Everyone looked confused. An alien with tentacles asked, "What do you mean, fight like water?" Alex smiled. "On Earth, we have a saying, be like water. It means to be flexible, to change and adapt. Water can be soft or powerful. It can flow around obstacles or wear them down over time." The aliens listened carefully. This was a new way of thinking for them. "So how do we fight like water?" asked General Klixer. "We stopped trying to match the Vex in big battles," Alex explained. "Instead, we spread out. We hit them in small ways, all over the place. We wear them down bit by bit." The room was quiet as everyone thought about this idea. Then, slowly, they started to nod. "It could work," said Chief Zorblax. "But we'll need to change everything about how we fight." Captain Chen stood up. "Then let's do it," she said. "Let's change the game." Over the next few weeks, humans and aliens worked together to create new ways of fighting. They called it Operation Waterfall. First, they made their ships faster and smaller. Priya, the human engineer, worked with alien tech experts to build engines that could change speed quickly, like water speeding up in a narrow stream, she explained. Next, they trained fighters to work in small teams. Humans taught aliens about guerrilla tactics, quick, surprise attacks. Aliens showed humans how to use their special powers in clever ways. They also created new weapons. Alex had an idea for a space slingshot that could throw asteroids at Vex ships. An alien named Zorp invented a fog gun that made a cloud of tiny robots to confuse Vex sensors. But the biggest change was in how they thought about the war. Instead of trying to win big battles, they focused on small victories. They would attack Vex supply lines, mess up their communications, and generally be a constant annoyance. "We'll be like 1,000 paper cuts," said Alex. "Not dangerous alone, but together, they can bring down a giant." Finally, they were ready to try their new way of fighting. The Galactic Council sent out hundreds of small ships, each with a mixed team of humans and aliens. At first, the Vex didn't know what was happening. They were used to big fleets and major attacks. But now, they were being hit everywhere, all the time. A human-alien team would zoom in, blow up a Vex fuel depot, and zoom away before the Vex could respond. Another team would hack into Vex computers, messing up their plans. A third would rescue prisoners from a Vex slave planet. The Vex tried to fight back, but they couldn't catch the fast, small ships. They sent out their big fleets, but there was nothing to fight. The Galactic Council forces were like water, flowing around the Vex defenses. Slowly but surely, the tide of the war began to turn. The Vex weren't winning anymore. They were confused and frustrated. One day, a month into Operation Waterfall, the Galactic Council got amazing news. A team led by Alex had sneaked onto a Vex command ship. They had stolen the Vex's secret battle plans. Everyone gathered to hear what Alex had found. He looked tired but excited as he showed them the Vex plans on a big screen. "Look at this," he said, pointing to a map. "The Vex have most of their ships here, protecting their home world. They're scared we'll attack it." Chief Zorblax looked surprised. "But we don't have enough ships for a big attack," he said. Alex grinned. "Exactly. They don't understand our new way of fighting. They're preparing for the wrong kind of war." Captain Chen nodded. "This is our chance," she said. "We can hit them where they're weak while they guard against an attack that will never come." The Galactic Council quickly made a new plan. They would use their water tactics to slowly surround the Vex home world, not with a big fleet, but with hundreds of small teams. Over the next few weeks, human and alien fighters worked together better than ever. They used all their new tricks and tactics. The Vex tried to stop them, but they couldn't fight what they couldn't catch. Finally, the day came for the big move. All at once, every team attacked the Vex defenses around their home world. It wasn't one big battle, but 1,000 small ones. The Vex were completely surprised. Their big ships were useless against the small, fast attackers. Their strong defenses were bypassed by clever tricks and new technology. After a day of fighting, the unbelievable happened. The Vex leader sent out a message. They wanted to surrender. The Galactic Council couldn't believe it. They had won. And it was all because they had learned to fight like water. As the Galactic Council celebrated their victory, Chief Zorblax made a speech. "We won this war not because we were stronger," he said, "but because we were smarter. We learned to adapt, to change, to work together in new ways." He looked at the humans in the crowd. "Our human friends taught us to think differently," he said. "They truly changed the game." Everyone cheered. Humans and aliens hugged each other, crying happy tears. They had done it. They had saved the galaxy. As the party went on, Alex found Captain Chen. "What do we do now?" he asked. "The war is over." Captain Chen smiled. "Now," she said, "we build a better galaxy. Together." She looked out at the stars. "And who knows? Maybe our next adventure is out there, waiting for us." Alex grinned. He couldn't wait to see what would happen next. Whatever it was, he knew that humans and aliens, working together, could handle anything the universe threw at them. The bad guys strike back. The Galactic Council was happy. They thought they had won the war against the Vex. Humans and aliens were celebrating together on many planets, but they didn't know that trouble was coming. Deep in space, on a hidden Vex base, the Vex leaders were angry. They had lost many battles, but they weren't ready to give up. "We must strike back," shouted the Vex Supreme Commander. His name was Zargoth, and he was the meanest, scariest Vex of all. "We will show these humans and their alien friends that the Vex are still strong." The other Vex leaders nodded. They were ready to fight again. Zargoth had a new plan. "We've been fighting the old way," he said. "Now we'll use their own tricks against them." Meanwhile, on the Galactic Council's main space station, things were quiet. Captain Chen and Alex were in a meeting with Chief Zorblax and other leaders. "We've won many battles," said Chief Zorblax, "but we must stay alert. The Vex might try something sneaky." Just then, alarms started ringing all over the station. Red lights flashed everywhere. "What's happening?" shouted Alex. A scared-looking alien ran into the room. "We're under attack," he yelled. "Vex ships are everywhere." Everyone ran to the big window. They couldn't believe what they saw. Hundreds of small Vex ships were zooming around the space station. They were fast and hard to see, just like the ships the Galactic Council had been using. "They've copied our tactics," said Captain Chen. She looked worried. Chief Zorblax quickly gave orders. "Send out our ships. Protect the station." But it wasn't easy. The Vex ships were different now. They didn't fight like before. They were using all the clever tricks that the humans had taught the Galactic Council. "They're fighting like water," said Alex. He sounded surprised and a little scared. The battle was hard. The Galactic Council ships tried their best, but the Vex were strong. They had surprise on their side, and they had learned from watching the humans and aliens fight. After hours of fighting, the Vex finally left. The space station was safe, but many ships were destroyed. Everyone was tired and scared. In the main room, the leaders met again. They looked worried. "This is bad," said General Klixer. "The Vex have learned our ways of fighting. What do we do now?" No one had an answer. Even Alex, who usually had crazy ideas, was quiet. Just then, Priya ran into the room. She looked excited. "I found something," she said. "Come quick." Everyone followed Priya to her lab. On a big screen, They saw a map of the galaxy. There were red dots moving all over it. "What are those?" asked Chief Zorblax. "Those are the tiny robots we sent to spy on the Vex," said Priya. "Remember, they're still out there, sending information." Alex's eyes got big. "That's it," he said. "We can use the robots to find out what the Vex are planning." It was a good idea, but it wouldn't be easy. The tiny robots were hard to control from far away. And there was so much information to look through. "We need help," said Captain Chen. "Let's ask everyone in the Galactic Council to help us look at the information from the robots." Chief Zorblax agreed. He sent a message to all the planets in the Galactic Council. "We need your help," he said. "Work together and look for anything unusual in the robot data." For the next few days, humans and aliens all over the galaxy worked hard. They looked at pictures and information from the tiny robots. They were searching for clues about what the Vex were planning. Finally, they found something. On a small planet far away, the Vex were building something big. "It looks like a giant machine," said Priya, looking at the pictures. "But what does it do?" No one knew, but they all agreed it couldn't be good. "We have to stop them," said Captain Chen. "But how? We can't fight them the old way anymore." Everyone thought hard. They needed a new idea, something the Vex wouldn't expect. Suddenly, Alex jumped up. "I've got it," he said. "We won't fight them at all." Everyone looked confused. "What do you mean?" asked Chief Zorblax. Alex grinned. "We'll trick them," he said. "We'll make them think we're attacking one place, but really we'll be somewhere else." He explained his plan. It was crazy and dangerous, but it just might work. For the next week, the Galactic Council got ready. They sent messages that they knew the Vex would hear. The messages talked about a big attack on a Vex base. The Vex heard the messages. They sent most of their ships to protect the base. They thought they were ready for anything, but they were wrong. While the Vex were waiting for an attack that would never come, a small team snuck onto the planet where the giant machine was being built. The team was led by Captain Chen and Alex. They had Priya's newest inventions and help from some of the best alien fighters. As they got close to the giant machine, they could see how big it really was. It was taller than mountains. "What is that thing?" whispered Alex. An alien on the team scanned it with a special device. "It's some kind of portal," he said. "I think it can open a way to another galaxy." Everyone was shocked. If the Vex could travel to another galaxy, they could start their mean plans all over again. "We have to stop it," said Captain Chen. "Plant the bombs. We'll blow it up and get out of here fast." The team worked quickly. They put bombs all over the giant machine. But just as they finished, they heard a loud noise. Vex ships were coming. They had figured out the trick. "Run," shouted Captain Chen. The team raced back to their ship. Vex soldiers were chasing them, shooting laser guns. They made it to the ship just in time. As they flew away, Alex pushed the button to set off the bombs. Boom! The giant machine exploded in a huge fireball. The Vex plan was ruined. As they flew back to the Galactic Council space station, everyone cheered. They had won again. But Captain Chen looked serious. "The Vex will be back," she said. "They're angry now. We need to be ready." Alex nodded. "We'll be ready," he said. "Whatever they try next, we'll face it together." As they looked out at the stars, they knew the biggest battle was still to come. But with humans and aliens working together, they had hope. They would find a way to win, no matter what. The last big fight. The Galactic Council knew the Vex would attack again. They had to get ready for the biggest fight ever. Humans and aliens worked day and night to prepare. Captain Chen called a big meeting. Everyone important was there. Chief Zorblax, General Klixer, Alex, Priya, and leaders from many planets. "The Vex are coming," Captain Chen said. "We need a plan to end this war once and for all." Alex stood up. "I have an idea," he said. "But it's really dangerous. Everyone listened closely. Alex's ideas were often crazy, but they usually worked. "We know the Vex have one main base left," Alex said. "It's where their leaders are. If we can capture that base, we can end the war." "But that base is too strong," said General Klixer. "We can't attack it directly." Alex smiled. "We won't attack it," he said. "We'll let them capture us instead." The room got very quiet. Then everyone started talking at once. It sounded crazy. "Listen," Alex shouted. "If we pretend to surrender, they'll take us to their main base. Once we're inside, we can take control." It was a very risky plan, but after talking for hours, everyone agreed it was their best chance. They spent the next week getting ready. Priya made special devices that looked like simple tools but were really powerful weapons. The aliens practiced acting scared and defeated. Finally, the day came. A small group would pretend to surrender to the Vex. Captain Chen, Alex, Priya, and a few of the bravest aliens were chosen for this dangerous mission. As they got ready to leave, Chief Zorblax spoke to them. "Be careful," he said. "A whole galaxy is counting on you." The team got into an old, beat-up spaceship. It was part of their disguise. They flew towards Vex space, feeling scared but determined. Soon, they saw Vex ships coming towards them. It was time to act. "This is Captain Chen of the Galactic Council," she said over the radio. "We want to surrender. Please don't shoot." For a moment, nothing happened. Then a voice came back. It was Zargoth, the Vex Supreme Commander. "Well, well," he said, "the mighty Galactic Council wants to give up. Follow our ships, any tricks, and you'll be destroyed." The team followed the Vex ships. They flew for hours until they saw a huge space station. It was bigger than any they had ever seen. This was the Vex main base. As they landed in a big hangar, they saw hundreds of Vex soldiers waiting. The team left their ship, hands in the air. Zargoth himself came to meet them. He was tall and scary-looking, with glowing red eyes. "Welcome to your new home," Zargoth said with an evil laugh. "You'll tell us everything about the Galactic Council's defenses. Then we'll destroy them all." The team was taken to a big room full of computers. Vex guards watched them closely. "Start talking," Zargoth said. "Tell us your secrets." Captain Chen looked at her team. They all nodded slightly. It was time. Quick as lightning, Priya pulled out her special devices. They turned into powerful weapons. Alex threw a small ball that made a bright flash, blinding the Vex. The room erupted into chaos. The team fought bravely, using all their skills. Vex soldiers fell left and right, surprised by the sudden attack. Alarms started blaring. More Vex were coming. "Priya, the computers," shouted Captain Chen. Priya ran to the main computer. She plugged in a small device and started typing fast. "I'm in their system," she said. "I can control the whole base from here." Just then, more Vex burst into the room. But before they could attack, the lights went out. The doors slammed shut. "What's happening?" roared Zargoth. Alex grinned. "We're happening," he said. "Your base belongs to us now." For the next hour, it was like a crazy game. Priya controlled the base's systems, trapping Vex in rooms and guiding the team to important areas. Captain Chen and the others fought off any Vex they met. Finally, they'd reached the main control room. Zargoth was there, looking angry and scared. "It's over, Zargoth," said Captain Chen. "Surrender now." Zargoth looked around wildly. Then he smiled an evil smile. "Never," he shouted. He pushed a big red button on the wall. Suddenly, the whole base started shaking. Red lights flashed everywhere. "Self-destruct activated," said a computer voice. "Base will explode in 10 minutes. If I can't have this base, no one will." Zargoth yelled. He ran to a small ship and escaped before anyone could stop him. "Priya, can you stop it?" Alex asked, panicking. Priya typed frantically on the computer. I can't, she said. The system is locked. Captain Chen thought fast. New plan, she said. We take control of this base and fly it out of here. It was another crazy idea, but they had no choice. They all ran to different stations. Priya worked on the engines, Alex on weapons, and the aliens on navigation. Captain Chen sat in the main chair. Everyone ready? She asked. Let's fly this thing. The huge base slowly started to move. It was like trying to steer a planet. They pushed it faster and faster, racing against time. 5 minutes to self-destruct, said the computer voice. They flew past confused Vex ships. Some tried to stop them, but Alex used the base's weapons to scare them away. 2 minutes to self-destruct. They were almost out of Vex space, just a little further. 30 seconds to self-destruct. Hang on, shouted Captain Chen. She pushed the engines to full power. The base shot forward like a giant bullet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. The back part of the base exploded. But they had made it. They were safe in friendly space. Cheers erupted from the team. They had done it. They had captured the Vex main base and escaped. As they caught their breath, they saw hundreds of ships approaching. But these weren't Vex ships. It was the Galactic Council fleet coming to help. Chief Zorblax's voice came over the radio. Congratulations, brave heroes. He said, You've done it. The war is over. The team looked at each other, tired but happy. They had faced the last big fight and won. The galaxy was safe at last. As they flew home with their captured base, towed by friendly ships, they knew that a new chapter was beginning. Humans and aliens had worked together to save the galaxy. Now, they would work together to build a peaceful future. The last big fight was over, but their greatest adventure was just beginning. We won. Now what? The big war was over. The Vex were defeated. Humans and aliens had won together. Everyone in the galaxy was happy and celebrating. But soon, they all had a big question. What do we do now? On the Galactic Council's main space station, there was a huge party. Aliens from hundreds of planets were there. They were all different colors and shapes, but they were all smiling and laughing together. In the middle of the party, Captain Chen found Alex and Priya. They were talking with Chief Zorblax and some other alien leaders. There you are, said Captain Chen, the heroes of the hour. Alex blushed. We all did it together, he said. Chief Zorblax nodded. Yes, but your ideas helped us win, he said. Now we need your ideas for peace. Priya looked surprised. Ideas for peace? What do you mean? Chief Zorblax sighed. The war is over, but we have many problems to fix, he said. Some planets were hurt badly in the fighting. Some species don't trust each other, and we don't know if all the Vex are really gone. Everyone looked worried. Winning the war was hard, but maybe keeping the peace would be even harder. Just then, they heard a loud voice. Attention, everyone. It was General Clixert, standing on a floating platform. We have an important announcement. The room got quiet. Everyone looked up at General Clixer. We won the war thanks to all of us working together, he said. Now we want to make that official. We're creating a new galactic alliance. The crowd started talking excitedly. A galactic alliance. What did that mean? General Clixer explained. The Galactic Alliance would be like a big team. All planets could join if they wanted. They would help each other and solve problems together. And, said General Clixer with a big smile, we want Captain Chen, Alex, and Priya to help lead it. Everyone cheered, but Captain Chen and her friends looked shocked. Us, said Alex. But we're just us. Chief Zorblax put his hand on Alex's shoulder. You showed us how to work together, he said. You can help us keep working together. It was a big job, but after thinking for a minute, they all nodded. They would do it. The next few months were very busy. The team traveled to many planets, helping to set up the new Galactic Alliance. On one planet, they helped rebuild cities that were destroyed in the war. Priya used her engineering skills to design new buildings that were stronger and better than before. On another planet, they helped make peace between two species that had been fighting for years. Alex used his creative thinking to find a solution that made everyone happy. And on a small, faraway planet, they found a group of Vex who wanted to surrender. Captain Chen talked to them kindly and helped them join the Galactic Alliance peacefully. But it wasn't all serious work. They had fun adventures too. They visited a planet where the clouds were made of candy. Alex ate so much cloud candy that his teeth turned blue for a week. On another planet, they rode on the backs of giant flying creatures that looked like friendly dragons. Priya was scared at first, but soon she was laughing and doing loops in the air. And on a water planet, they swam with aliens that looked like giant, talking fish. Captain Chen had a great time, even though she accidentally swallowed some salty water and hiccuped bubbles for hours afterwards. As they traveled, they saw amazing things. New species joining the Alliance, old enemies becoming friends, planets healing and growing. But they also faced some hard problems. One day, they got an emergency call. A big asteroid was heading towards a planet. If it hit, it would destroy everything. The team rushed to help. Priya came up with a plan to use spaceships to push the asteroid away. It was dangerous, but it worked. The planet was saved. Another time, they discovered a group of pirates stealing from peaceful planets. Captain Chen led a team to stop them. It was a tricky chase through an asteroid field, but they caught the pirates in the end. And once, they even had to solve a mystery. Someone was sending fake messages, trying to scare planets into leaving the Alliance. Alex figured out it was a grumpy old alien who didn't like change. They talked to him and helped him see that the Alliance was a good thing. As time went on, the Galactic Alliance grew stronger. More and more planets joined. People started to feel safe and happy. One day, about a year after the war ended, the team was back on the main space station. They were in a meeting with Chief Zordlax and other leaders. "You've done an amazing job," said Chief Zordlax. "The galaxy is at peace. What do you want to do now?" Captain Chen, Alex, and Priya looked at each other. They smiled. They all had the same idea. "We want to explore," said Alex excitedly. "There's so much of the galaxy we haven't seen yet," said Priya. "And maybe," said Captain Chen with a twinkle in her eye, "maybe we could look for other galaxies to make friends with." Chief Zordlax laughed. "I thought you might say that," he said. "We've been working on something special. Come with me." He led them to a big hangar. Inside was the most beautiful spaceship they had ever seen. It was sleek and silver, with powerful engines and all the latest technology. "This is the Starship Friendship," said Chief Zordlax. "It's the fastest, strongest ship we've ever built, and it's yours." The team was speechless. Their very own ship. "So," said Chief Zordlax with a smile, "are you ready for your next big adventure?" Captain Chen, Alex, and Priya looked at each other again. They grinned and nodded. "Let's go see what's out there," said Captain Chen. As they boarded their new ship, they felt excited. They had won the war. They had built peace. And now, they were ready to explore the wonders of the universe. The Starship Friendship's engines roared to life. As it lifted off, heading towards the stars, the team knew that their greatest adventures were still to come. They had asked, "Now what?" and found their answer. The future was bright, full of new friends to make and new worlds to discover. And they couldn't wait to see what was next.